Yo. Welcome back, man. The 20 Game Sports, we back. It's been a while since I did 2 lives in one day, but today is a very, very special day, one of my favorite days of the year. NBA free agency has already been crazy. I did a live earlier. News, Kevin Durant wanting a trade out of Brooklyn. Did not see that coming, but there's been more reports coming out. Has no contact with Brooklyn. He called the Nets owner himself and told him he wanted to trade him and Kyrie stay together but not be on the same team. So this is just crazy. All over the place. There's been crazy deals made already. The Bills signed a historic deal for 5 years for $251 million. Like, are you kidding me? $251 million? That's $50 million a year. My dude's getting $50 million a year, man. That's crazy. Then I seen that Nikola Jokic is getting like 5 years, 240 something million. Crazy deals that's all over the place. You dudes need to understand what is really going on with this NBA stuff. I seen that Tucker has signed a pretty good deal for a guy his age. I think he's about 37. He signed a deal to go play with the Rockets. I mean, the Rockets. Might as well be the Rockets because they're basically reuniting their team that they had in Houston a couple of years ago. You got he's going to the Philadelphia 76ers. Then they signed Daniel House to a deal. Also see some terrible signings from the Lakers, man. They got Lonnie Walker IV, who's a very athletic wing player. And then they signed another dude like Troy Hunter or something like that. Very minimum, man. So y'all rock with me. If any breaking news, any deals happen, please put it in the comments. I appreciate those that are jumping in on this. A little late to the stream, but it is what it is, man. Again, free agency 2022 NBA is always some crazy things. Right now on ESPN, they're discussing the possibility of the Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving trade. And I'm seeing stories that they possibly might want to go to the Lakers, right? But the Lakers don't have any assets. They don't have any assets of value to give Brooklyn, unless what I'm hearing is true about KD, Kyrie Irving straight up for Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. If I'm the Brooklyn Nets, I'm not bailing them out. I'm really not bailing the Lakers out. It's just too much, man. The Lakers keep getting rich in free agency. They have never really built up a team through free agency through the draft besides getting Kobe Bryant. And even that wasn't a straight up draft. They selected somebody else, and then the Charlotte Hornets selected Kobe, which then in turn turned into a trade. So the rest is history. Had a great 20-year career. But it's just crazy that these dudes get this kind of stuff now. Jalen Brunson, the young guard out of Virginia, played for Virginia in college, played for the Mavs, had a really great season last year, has signed a 4-year deal worth $110 million to the New York Knicks, which I called probably a couple weeks ago once his dad decided to become an assistant coach with the Knicks. So that's almost a no-brainer, man. You got a chance to make millions of dollars and go get a chance to go play a sport that you and your dad share a love for, your dad's coaching. That was a damn near no-brainer for me. I'm saying Anthony Simons. This is, again, you guys can't be surprised at these deals that some of these dudes are getting because the market of the NBA has created these contracts for these type of dudes to get this. The TV deals is what allows these crazy contracts. Anthony Simons, a young guard that played for Portland. Portland was terrible this last year, but he balled out for the most part. He is reportedly getting a 4-year extension worth $100 million. So shout out to Anthony Simons getting his money, getting his bread. I can rock with you on that one, man. I'm not mad at you at all for that. Not. Get your bread, young fella. That's what it's about. Getting your bread, making some money, making some generational wealth for your kids and your kids' kids and possibly your great-great-grandkids. So That's how it's supposed to be done. That's why you play the game. Yes, you play to win, but you also want to make money to to set your family up for life, man. And that's what I'm about. I see Tyus Jones, young backup point guard for Memphis Grizzlies. He great year, led the league in assist to turnover ratio. He's re-signing with the Memphis Grizzlies for 2 years, $30 million. So that's on par from what the rest of everybody's getting. So when you're looking at these free agency signings, you look at your draft class, and then you look at your age. So the dudes that's in your age bracket, kind of in your draft class, you see what they're getting, and then you place your value on that kind of stuff. That's how these deals are done for folks who don't understand the logic of NBA free agency. All these deals, like, man, how is this dude getting such and such? That's how it goes. You measure yourself up for dudes that's in your age range and that's around your draft class, and you compare yourself, and that's how you break down your market value. That's exactly how you break down your market value. Let's see what else. Kyle Anderson doesn't move the needle. Last play with the Grizzlies. He's reportedly getting a 2-year deal worth $18 million from the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I saw something that kind of disturbed me with the Timberwolves. Are going to pay this dude, Karl-Anthony Towns, like 5 years, 200 and something million, 210 or something like that. Karl Towns has not proven himself to me. He's an average NBA star, man. Like, and that's kind of like an oxymoron. How can you be an average NBA star? But he doesn't move the needle for me. He doesn't impact the game enough to get that type of bread. But if they want to give it to him, why not? That's all I got to say. If they want to give it to him, why not? Take your money. It is what it is. Again, NBA free agency, man. Love y'all for jumping in on this. Those who are here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and then hit that bell button to get those notifications. Put your comments, questions, all that stuff down in the comments. Hear from the people. I hate doing these shows, just kind of talking to myself, which I'm doing right now, but it is what it is. I'm not tripping. Who else is getting crazy paid? And this is just day one of NBA free agency. It's gonna go down. Mo Bamba. He probably thought he was out the door when the draft came along. When the draft came along, and the thought was Chet Holmgren was going to get drafted to Orlando as the number 1 pick. That was the thought. But then they took the Banchero kid. Perfectly fine. So Mo Bamba is reportedly getting 2 years, $21 million for with the Magic. So, he's comfortable there. They drafted him. He still has a lot of growth, man. He's only 24 years old. So a guy like that, he still has room to grow, but he's probably reached his peak as an NBA player, being a defender, a rim protector, pick and roll guy, a lob guy. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And if that gets you paid, then damn it, do it. If that gets you paid, then damn it, do it. Why not? Who else we got on here? Free agency. PJ Tucker, talked about him already. PJ Tucker's 37, so he got a 3-year, $33 million deal. How can you pass that up at the age of 37? And you get a chance to go back and play with your buddy and James Harden, your rolling buddy, your going out buddy. So 33 mil for PJ Tucker going to the Sixers. Victor Oladipo. Here's a guy who a couple of years ago was on the cusp of being a bona fide star in the NBA, and he bet on this stuff to make, great money at some point. Then he got injured twice. And it's just tough. Got traded to the Rockets, thought he was going to be, the guy there. Then he wanted out. Got traded to the Miami Heat, where he barely played some this year. Took him a while to get on the court, played a little bit. He had some decent moments in the playoffs, but he's reportedly signing a 1-year deal worth $11 million. Man, I can go sign a 1-year deal. I wish I can go sign a 1-year deal. But 1 year for $11 million. Can't beat that. Florida, I believe, is a tax-free, tax-exempt state, so he's good. Kid out of Oklahoma City, they call him Lou Dort. He's got a 5-year deal worth $87 million. And here's one of those guys that if you're new to the NBA game, and like I said earlier, these deals they look crazy for guys who haven't really paid their due like that. He had a pretty decent year last year, but he's getting 5-year, $87 million, only 23 years old. So they're betting that he's going to continue to develop and grow like that. OKC is very, very young. Most of their guys are under 26 years old. So they're going to be okay in the near future. They got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They got Dort. They got Chet Holmgren coming in. They got Josh Giddey, who had a really, really good year last year for them, young kid. So they're going to be all right. Malik Monk is leaving the Lakers. He got a 2-year deal for $19 million. He's going back to play with his Kentucky running mate and De'Aaron Fox. So maybe they're trying to bring that magic that they had at Kentucky to the NBA, which I don't think is going to happen because they both around 6'3", 6'4". And if you watch my stream before, I really don't get down with the small guards of that nature. I really don't get down like that. So yeah, that doesn't do nothing for Sacramento. Sacramento has the longest streak right now of not making the playoffs. So what are you going to do? Gary Harris, who was with who was he with 2 years ago? I want to say Denver. He was with Denver 2 years ago. Played with the Magic this year. He's re-signing with the Magic reportedly for 2 years at $26 million. Nicholas Batum, who for his age, 33 years old, he's been in the league a while. I think he came in when he was 19. So NBA years, he's really, really old, but he's only 33. He's getting 2 years, $22 million to go back to the Clippers, who I discussed earlier. The Clippers can be a high dark horse next year for the winning NBA championship if you get a healthy Kawhi back. John Wall stays healthy. PG stays healthy. All these type of dudes. So I don't know what that does for them. He's a great defender. Of course, you need multiple guys who can defend multiple positions with Kawhi, Paul George, and Nick Holmes. So that's a three-headed monster on the defensive end. Who else am I looking at? There's Gary Payton II has not got a deal from the Warriors, even though they signed him to the rest of the season last year. He did great things for them. So I know he's probably betting on himself to stay with the Warriors, but they might not have enough room for him. Surprising move that I didn't see, Javel Mcgee. Shout out to Javel Mcgee, man. He reinvented himself because he was on his way out the league. He really was. He was a prime fixture on the Shaq and the Fool stuff. If y'all remember that, man, he was just Shaq and the Fool. He was always on Shaq and the Fool. And he reinvented himself going to the Warriors and getting things right with them. And he reinvented his career. So he got a good deal with Phoenix after winning the championship with the Lakers. So a lot of folks thought that was a dumb move by him to leave the Lakers. But he ended up getting back to the NBA Finals with Phoenix 2 years ago. Then this year they kind of flamed out. But he's signing with the Mavericks. And I think he's already been with the Mavs. So he's going to the Mavericks for 3 years at $20 million. So shout out to JaVale McGee for getting his career right. He is a 2-time NBA champion. He's an Olympic gold medalist. So a lot of folks didn't think his career was going to be like the way it was, the way it turned out. So he's getting 3 years for $20 million. Again, market value. You see where yourself is at, the age group, and you see what other dudes are getting. This is on par, it's on course for JaVale McGee getting 3 years, $20 million. Joe Ingles, which I thought he retired, he is getting a 1-year deal for $65 million to go to the Milwaukee Bucks. good pickup for the Bucks. Really good pickup for the Bucks. He's a 6'8", 6'8.5" wing who can handle the ball. He can be your slow point guard. He can take some pressure out of Giannis, trying to make plays, and he can make open shots. And he's tough. So he's tough. So I'm not against that signing. I believe the Bucks will be back in the Eastern Conference Finals next year if they completely stay healthy. The Bucks will be back in the Eastern Conference Finals at minimum next year. Again, folks, may y'all please hit that thumbs up button if you are on YouTube. Hit the subscribe and then hit that bell button. If you're on Facebook, like this stream and share it with somebody. I will put the stream link up if anybody want to join in. More than welcome. More than welcome. Anybody that want to join in, you're more than welcome. I'm going to put the stream link up. Y'all keep me updated on these deals. I'm kind of floating through the internet trying to figure it all out. So if you know something, put it in the chat and let me know what's happening. So there's the stream link. Anybody that want to join in. I don't care. I'm going to keep talking. Let's see who else we got. Wesley Matthews, if you watched my stream before, Wesley Matthews is kind of irritates me, even though he shouldn't, because he's a professional player. That's something I never even got a chance to do, get to that level. But he irritates me for some reason. I really, really don't know why. He really does irritate me. So he's getting a 1-year deal with Milwaukee. He's 35. Patty Mills, I thought Patty Mills would be out the door, actually, especially with hearing the news that Kevin Durant wants to be gone. And with Kevin Durant wanting to be gone, you can probably bet your bottom dollar that the Nets will try to move Kyrie Irving as well. So Patty Mills re-signing with the Nets at 2 years, $14.5 million at the age of 33. Not bad. Not bad. Like I said, I talked about this earlier. Lonnie Walker IV, super athletic dude. Super athletic. He's about 6'7", 6'8", somewhere in there. Super athletic. He signed a 1-year deal with the Lakers. And for him, he's going to try to ball out as much as he can because he's 23 years old. He's still trying to figure himself out as an NBA player. Still trying to figure himself out as a player. So he's going to try his damnness to ball out going forward this year. And Troy Brown Jr. was the other guy I couldn't remember. I think I said his name right earlier. He got a 1-year deal on a veteran minimum. He's 22 years old and he has a vet minimum. That's crazy. and the Lakers also are getting one Toscano Anderson. But if you're a Lakers fan, they don't have very much to give and work with, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. They don't have much to give or get with LeBron James and Anthony Davis over there and Russell Westbrook. So that is crazy stuff. So Zach Levine is still out there. He's still one of the biggest free agent that's probably left. Zach Levine, he all-star wing for the Bulls. I know he's shopping around to see who is really, really, really wants him. So does he do? What does he get out of this free agency? He might wait a couple of days and see what it's really about, see where everybody's landing. But Zach Levine needs to get away from the Bulls. And it's not because I don't like the Bulls. It's because Lonzo Ball cannot stay healthy. And I really, really like watching Lonzo Ball play. When he's healthy, he's a really, really good NBA traditional point guard. He's fun to watch. But the magnitude of his injury to his knee, which he's been having problems with since he came out of college, it's just kind of hindered him. So if I'm Zach Levine, I'm looking like, do I stay with this and ride this out? DeMar DeRozan, semi-star. I'll put him at the star level. So what is that going to be for him? Zach Levine, what are you going to do? And we heard the news that James Harden took a lesser deal supposedly taking a lesser deal so he can get all his buddy, get the gang back together, get that Houston Rockets 2017-18 squad back together. Daryl Morey is over there, who used to be the GM with the Rockets doing. They basically becoming the Philadelphia Rockets. The Philadelphia Rockets, man. Another big free agent that's out there is I just lost my name. DeAndre Aiden. So DeAndre Aiden, what is going to happen with this guy? What is going to happen with this guy? And his development has not been there. I think he hurt himself in the playoffs, for one. And now I hear the stories that he has an extreme love for NBA 2K. And there's nothing wrong with that. But your job is to be a professional basketball player, not to be a professional NBA 2K player, man. Like, get in, work on your craft. If you want people to pay you a bunch of money, you need to get in the gym and work on your craft. That's just bottom line for me. Bottom line for me. LaMarcus Aldridge was a you probably could bring in, but this will be year 17 for him. So do you want to rock with him? If you have a young team and you bring him in, yeah, that works. He'll be a good vet, be a good pro for the locker room. But at LaMarcus Aldridge's age, I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to go to a young team like that. Let's see who else is out there, man. It's just a bunch of names. Bo, the youngster that was with Denver, he's out there still. With Miles Bridges with his dumb self, got a domestic violence issue. Got charged with domestic violence either late last night or early this morning. Like, I don't know. These young kids have so much access to information, internet, social media and stuff to see the past mistakes of people before them. They have all this access to this stuff, not like the other guys, like older guys, my generation. You got to hear the stories, but these dudes actually got to see it live up front, happening in real time, and they still out here making these crazy mistakes. And I know when you're young, you do that kind of stuff, but you have too much access to information to not get into this kind of trouble. And it bothers me because he's hurting his family. He had a really, really good year last year, like balled out, earned himself a potential to get a super max deal, or not a super max deal, but a max deal. A max deal, and you get a domestic violence charge, which these charges are. I always question these things when dudes are about to get a lot of money. So I'm not saying the story is not true, but I'm also saying that the story could be false, if that makes sense. So again, man, NBA 2022 NBA free agency. I appreciate those dropping in. Please, if you want to join this stream, there's the stream link. Just copy and paste it. If you hear some news that I'm not hearing, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. We can get it rocking and rolling. See, we were up to about 8 or 9 people. They probably dipped in and dipped out. It is what it is. Let's see who their potential names. Javon Carter, y'all remember him? He played for West Virginia. Great defender. Great defender. He's not going anywhere. He's re-signing with the Bucks. Good for him. He's finding a good spot to be at. DeMarcus Cousins. What a terrible, unfortunate thing for DeMarcus Cousins, man. Now here's a guy who was set to make a lot of money, a lot of attitude and stuff like that. But when he was on the court, he balled out in Sacramento, and he balled out when he was in New Orleans. And he has a terrible injury, Achilles injury, I believe. that cost him a lot of time. And now he's just been bouncing around. I think he went to the Warriors. He went to Denver this past season. He was with the Lakers, I believe. Unfortunate, man. It's just unfortunate. And that's some dudes. It just happens like that. And I feel terrible for him. But DeMarcus Cousins was a guy who was set to make a lot of money, man. A lot of money. And he had a fortunate injury. An Achilles tear, kind of like Kevin Durant, if I remember correctly. What do you want guys like that to think, man? Like, oh my God, that's just unbelievable. Yeah, crazy story. Like, on the way to stardom, and he gets these crazy injuries back to back. If you're just not joining us, Bradley Beal got a bunch of money. 5 years, $251 million. 5 years, $251 million. Can't fault him for taking that. But he also said, and he also has a AAU team where he's telling these guys basically about winning is important and stuff like that. And then you turn around and sign with the Washington Wizards, who has been terrible for a while, especially since John Wall has been gone. The injury bug hit him. And you stay with the Wizards for 5 years, $251 million. But how can you pass that up? How can you pass up 5 years, $251 million? I'm just saying, Jokic, the two-time MVP, back-to-back MVP, 5 years, $240-something million. And I don't think Denver is ever going to win a championship with the way they are set up. It's just, I don't see it unless Michael Porter Jr. can come and stay healthy for once. Jamal Murray, who I really, really like. I like Jamal Murray. I think he's tough, mentally tough. I think he's physically tough, too. He plays with a little chip on his shoulder. They come back, they have a chance. But these Warriors, dude, these Warriors are tough. I mean, absolutely tough. What can you do with that group? I don't know. Don't know. They might win 2 or 3 more the way it's currently set up with those dudes, man. Let's see, another signing. Thaddeus Young, if y'all remember him, had high hopes for him when he was younger. He's re-signing with the Raptors. Good move for him. 2 years, $16 million. So that's about right for him. Chris Boucher, who's about 6'9", 6'10", he got a 3-year deal for $35 million, and he hasn't reached his full potential. If y'all seen a game last year in the playoffs against the Sixers, he went off on them. Went off on the Sixers. So he still has a lot of potential. Again, in my earlier stream with my man Hoop Jargon, we talked about the Raptors. They have a lot of guys with the same kind of skill set. Long, play the wing, don't really have a position type of dude between Boucher, Gary Trent Jr., Pascal Siakam, and OG Anunoby. All those dudes are like the same type of build, same type of player. Not great ball handlers, but not bad. It doesn't move the needle for me. Dwayne Dedmon re-signs with the Miami Heat. He's their backup center, a pretty decent backup center. So he's found his niche with himself as a NBA player. I think I covered most of these. Bobby Portis, which it was a crazy report earlier today that he was the Golden State Warriors. That was a report that came out earlier. And turns out he didn't decide to sign with them. And then, as y'all remember, after they won the championship last year, he signed like a two-year or 3-year deal with a player option in year 1 to opt out if he wanted to. And so he had a really good season. He's tough. He rebounds. He's smart, and he's developed a jumper, which Bobby Portis was like in top 10 in 3-point field goal percentage last year. If you're in Milwaukee, you can't pass that up because he opens the court up for Greek Freak. So he declined a $44.6 million option and turned around and got a 4-year, $49 million. So shout out to Bobby Portis and his agent. They played that perfectly. I mean, they played that absolutely perfectly, man. So whoever's Bobby Portis agent is, y'all need to, you're a young fella, getting ready to go to the NBA in a couple of years, find Bobby Portis' agent. I don't know who his agent is, but they played this perfectly. I mean, absolutely perfectly. I can't be mad at it at all. At all. So again, man, just jumping in, we've discussed NBA free agency. A lot of dudes, hit that like button if you're on Facebook or heart it. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, thumbs up, then hit that bell button to get that notification when we going live, so y'all don't miss these type of streams. And then most of my streams are about HBCU stuff, but that's not my channel. I didn't get into YouTube to specifically talk about HBCU stuff. That's just kind of how it turned out to be, man. And that culture has kind of really embraced me, and I appreciate that. But I cover all sports, and for folks who really know me, basketball is my first love. I've been doing basketball since I came out the womb, pretty much, man. Since I came out the womb, pretty much. So when NBA free agency starts and I had time, I didn't have to go out and do some extra work tonight. I'm like, man, I'm getting on this thing tonight. I don't care if it's one person in here or 1,000. And I know there's plenty of folks on YouTube covering this, but I'm giving y'all the real insight from the mind of a basketball player, the mind of a coach, and the mind of someone who understands deals and things of that nature, man. And there are a lot of YouTube channels who allow people to come in and just do that barbershop talk and that talk. A lot of people won't come on my channel because I don't allow that, because you got to be really strong basketball minded to come on this channel. That's just is what it is, man. And there's no fault against anyone else. It's really not. I understand that kind of stuff has a time and a place, but over here we want to break it down and give it to you the right way, man. The right way. So let's continue to go through these deals, man. Who else we got? Talked about Young. Talked about Anthony Simons. Again, the top free agent left is Zach Levine. Zach Levine can get a lot of All-Star last year. I don't know if he made all NBA team, but if he did, that guarantees him a pretty hefty contract. And what I'm, reading and looking up right now, he can get a max deal of 5 years of almost $200-something plus million. Like that's a lot of money up, man. A lot of money to pass up. But on the other hand, they said he can sign a 4-year deal around $100 million with another team. So do you pass? What do? You missing out on about 60-something million if you go to another team, possibly. But you can go to a team who has a actual winning chance. And the Bulls, again, Lonzo Ball's healthy and he's coming back right. The Bulls have a chance. They were playing great last year. Playing great. Lonzo Ball goes down. Everything starts, falling apart a little bit. They held their own in the playoffs, but it's just not enough. For the Bulls to be successful, they need all three of those Bulls to be healthy. And that's just bottom line. That's just bottom line. Again, if you really like what we do, make sure you hit that like button. Hit that like button for me. Also, find us on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Type in Between the Games Sports. You'll find me on there. I do a little bit of different stuff on each one. So you get a different type of flavor on each one of these things. Like I said, Jalen Brunson has already signed reportedly with the Knicks. Bradley Beal, $250 million. Deandre Aiden, second biggest free agent that is out there right now for the most part. Second biggest free agent out there for the most part. Marvin Bagley III, man. If y'all remember this dude, Marvin Bagley III came out as a high draft pick. He was number 2 overall when he came out. They were comparing him to like a Chris Bosh type of dude when he played with the Raptors. High expectations for Marvin Bagley III, and it just didn't work out over there with the Sacramento Kings. And again, man, the Kings, they've been bad for so long. They continue to get all these high value, these lottery picks, and they've done absolutely nothing with it, man. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's like ever since that Lakers series in 2002, which they got cheated out of, they have not been right since. They are still trying to recover from that 2002 collapse, and it's really not a collapse against the Lakers. So that's 20 plus years the Kings have been trying to recover from that instance, and they just can't get it right. And I don't know how they fix it. I really don't know how they fix it, man. Good Lord, Mike. Struggling over there, man. And coaching has been poor. Anything and everything you can think of has been poor over there with the Kings. So he got traded last year to the Detroit Pistons. He's re-signing with the Pistons. So it's good look, man. The Pistons are quietly trying to build something over there. They got Cade Cunningham, who's looking like he's going to be legit, the second coming of a Grant Hill. Then they just got the Jaden Ivey, who will help get Cade Cunningham off the ball and get him to his to a point forward position more. So they got another playmaker. Then I think they got a big out of that. And then you keep Marvin Bagley III. They got the wrecking ball, who is Isaiah Stewart, Mr. Attitude himself. He's a pure wrecking ball. Pure wrecking ball. So interesting first day of NBA free agency. I'm with it, man. I'm with it. I'm ready for it. Summer League to start, which will start up here probably mid-July. Hopefully I can get in on some of those streams. I wanted to go to Vegas this year, but I'm about to move, so I can't. With the economy and all this other stuff, we still got some issues going on in this country. So it's going to be hard for me to get to Vegas, even though I think I got a travel voucher, which I need to look into. I need to look into that. Man, I'm trying to get updates, man. So bear with me. Trying to get updates. All types of stuff happening, man. All types of stuff happening. I'm still shocked. I'm still trying to figure out this Kevin Durant thing, man. And I talked about this in my stream earlier. If you go back after we get done here, go back to my channel, find that stream. It was a really, really good stream with my man Hoop Jargon. But I'm trying to wrap my mind around this Durant stuff. Like, this dude is looking like he wants no part of being the fall guy when things go bad. When things go really, really bad, he's leaving. He's leaving, and I don't understand it because Kevin Durant has the ability to actually carry a team to the NBA Finals. They may not win it, but he has the ability to carry a team to the NBA Finals because when it comes down to just playing basketball, Kevin Durant is one of the best you could ever seen pick up a rock. Just purely playing basketball. But the other parts of it, he wants no part of it. And I don't understand why he's like that. But again, some guys just aren't that kind of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, in NBA free agency 2022, y'all keep rocking with me. I appreciate those who had dropped in here. hanging out with your boy, man. Hanging out with your boy. So who else we got? I don't think anything has been updated yet since I last tuned in, checked in. Talked about all these dudes already. Talked about a lot of these guys already. Otto Porter Jr. He's probably not going to be back with the Golden State Warriors. He served his purpose. I think Otto Porter Jr. will probably be out the league within the next 2 years. And I'm not hating on the dude, because again, he's accomplished something that I never could even dream of doing. But he's a 3-and-D guy, catch and shoot guy. For some reason, the Washington Wizards paid him a lot of money, and he hadn't been the same since. But he's only 29 years old. Montrezl Harrell is still out there, but y'all remember a couple weeks ago, this dude thought he was a drug dealer. He out here drug trafficking. Got pounds of weed in his car, kilos of weed. Like, what are you doing, man? What are you absolutely doing? I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Why are you? Oh my God. We talked about some of these other guys. Dante DiVincenzo, he's still unsigned. TJ Warren, I remember TJ Warren. TJ Warren had a tremendous output in the bubble. The first year of the play-in tournament, and they went to the bubble. TJ Warren was looking like the second coming of Michael Jordan, damn near, the way he was putting the ball in the basket. Like, he was filling that thing up. He got hurt last year. And some dudes are good in front of crowds, some dudes are not. And TJ Warren was one of those dudes. He's only 28 years old, though, so he still has time. Bunch of dudes ain't. Kevin Knox II. He came out of Kentucky as a high draft pick. Got drafted by the Knicks probably about 4 years ago. Never panned out because the Knicks head coach, God dog it, I can't think of his name. Tom Thibodeau. He doesn't play his young guys like that. And then when he has a rotation, he plays those guys in that rotation heavy minutes. So Kevin Knox, he never found his way. He got traded to the Hawks, which I thought he might have got a chance to get some time there. That never panned out. So he's leaving there and signing a 2-year deal, $6 million. The Pistons. Pistons are going to be real young. They got a long. Jaden Ivey is explosive, steady guard. Kate Cunningham can do a little bit of everything. Then you got Marvin Bagley the third, Isaiah Stewart, and then you add Kevin Knox to this group. So a bunch of young guys up in Detroit trying to rebuild and get them back to their glory days. What up, folks, man? Again, y'all jump in. If you got any comments, if you would like to join in on the stream, please do so. Just copy it, open the link, and you can get in on this. I appreciate y'all, man. Again, this is my second show today. I did one earlier about when Kevin Durant first said that he wanted out. So I appreciate it. I'm searching these channels. Nothing is really happening right now. Again, through the night, there's going to be more and more news, but just the simple fact that the biggest news of the day was Kevin Durant requesting a trade. Kevin Durant gets out of there. Kyrie Irving's gone. Ben Simmons is sitting there, and he posted a picture up on Instagram talking about feeling incredible. Hey, man, Ben Simmons, nobody wants to see you in a picture. Sitting there talking about you feeling. They want to see you in the gym, putting some work in, working on your right hand, working on your jumper, and working on your back, since you said your back is the cause of everything. They don't want to see you with a picture talking about you feeling incredible. And for those who say that he doesn't owe the fans anything, you're right. But I'm telling you from what I know of fans, how fans really believe in players, how they believe in teams. They don't want to see that, man. I'm a fan of the game, man. I don't have a favorite team. I haven't had a favorite team since I was maybe 8 or 9 years old. Don't have a favorite team. I'm a fan of the game. I enjoy it. I love it. So I'm telling you, from what I know of fans, other than myself, they don't want to see you on Instagram with a picture talking about you feeling incredible. They could care less. Get your behind in the gym and work on your craft because you're too talented. You're too good to have a subpar game. Get in there and show yourself you have love for the game, man. Bottom line. Yeah, appreciate those that just kind of jumping in, trickling in here. We've been discussing this free agency madness so far, trying to break things down for you guys and so you can understand that why some of these dudes are getting the deals that they're getting. Because the NBA has so much TV money, has so much access around the world that they're able to pay these dudes these ridiculous amounts of money because the market is there. A guy like Anthony Simons, 10, 12, not be getting a four-year deal for a $100 million deal. He would not. And that's just the way of the game right now. He balled out last year. He balled out the year before when CJ McCollum was out. When they had to replace him in certain situations, when Damian Lillard was out, he balled out then. But he hasn't done enough in the basketball eyes of things to get a 4-year deal worth $100 million. Same goes for Jalen Brunson. And I like both of those dudes. Jalen Brunson got a 4-year deal for $110 million reportedly. So again, 10 years ago, these dudes would not been getting this type of money, man. Would have not been getting this type of money. D Brown in the building. What's up, D, man? I'm just out here rambling. I've been talking to myself for the most part, but what you got for me, man? What are you thinking about these crazy NBA deals right now, man? I don't know who's your team. Who's the team that you want to watch most, or that you watch most? So I can kind of gauge where I can go with this conversation. But again, I was talking about Anthony Simons and Jalen Brunson now about how they just got these crazy deals right now. So I'm not mad at them for that. Yeah, college. Don't even get me started on college, man. There's a dude in college right now. I want to say he's a quarterback. He's making more money than about 7 or 8 NFL quarterbacks. He's making about 9. I think I seen it like $9 million. He'll make $9 million next year, and he's a college quarterback. He's making more money than Justin Herbert. I've seen all types of dudes, man, like crazy. Like starting quarterbacks in the NFL, this dude is making more money than. But I'm not mad at it because I played college sports, and I understand you're not a student athlete. For those who have not been on this channel before, there's no such thing as a student athlete. Me and my dude Hoop Jargon talk about it all the time. When you're at a college, you're an athlete who happens to attend class. That's it. You're an athlete who happens to attend class. You're not a student who happens to play a sport when you're there. It's a full-time job. Don't let these folks fool you. Yeah, I saw that earlier, USC and UCLA to the Big Ten. Is that confirmed? I seen like reported story. UCLA and USC is basically the Pac-10. They are the godfathers of the Pac-10. I'm sorry, the Pac-12. Good Lord. They lead is going to be the Pac-10. Yeah, they go back to the Pac-10. But it's the Pac-12 now, I believe. So UCLA and USC, wow, you just said confirmed. Wow, confirmed. And that leaves the door open for somebody else to go in there. So it is what it is. It's a business. This again, it brings me back to my point again. College sports is a business. They don't care about you as an athlete, as a student. They don't care. They can care less. They can care less what you do. As long as it doesn't embarrass the university, you can get by in classes just a little bit, just enough to be eligible. But this is why I love the transfer portal, because for coaches, for many, many years, coaches were able to quit, recruit kids, bring them into their program over the summer, then all of a sudden they get a better job offer, they're gone, there's no punishment. This is why I love the transfer portal. Where do I think KD's gonna end up, man? I don't know. I did a live earlier about this. I have no idea. It's not much. Wherever he goes, he's gonna look really, really, really weak. On the live we did earlier, we've mentioned Miami. Miami was one that we mentioned. We mentioned Phoenix, which I hear that he wants to go to Phoenix, but the Nets won't do it unless they can get Devin Booker out of that. So if you're Phoenix, you don't do that. We mentioned Charlotte. Like, you go to Charlotte, you might not get any flack if you go to Charlotte. Like, you really might not get any flack if you're Kevin Durant. You go to Charlotte. What's up, my guy? I don't know how to pronounce your name. I don't want to butcher it. I'm gonna call you AR. You said KD to the Raptors. I did mention. I said something. I believe I said something like that in my earlier stream today. KD to the Raptors. Not bad. But if you're KD, you're leaving Brooklyn because you don't feel like they can win a championship. You're leaving Brooklyn because you don't feel like they can win a championship. So you go to the Raptors, you go to Toronto, you match up with Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, who, shout out to Fred VanVleet, got the biggest contract ever for an undrafted guy last year, biggest contract in NBA history. He goes down in the history books. The folks who watch this channel, you know I love history making stuff. Fred VanVleet got the biggest contract ever for a guy who was undrafted. And he can ball. So I'm not against that. I'm really, really not against that. But can they beat Milwaukee? No. Can they beat Boston? Maybe. Can they beat Miami? No. AR says if we get KD, we need to give up on OG and Trent probably. Yeah, those guys will be out the door. You got to give up OG. And Trent, even though Gary Trent is a decent sized guard, 6'6", strong, can shoot it, but you got to give him up. You got to give up those two and probably two first rounders. 2 first rounders in a second. If I'm Brooklyn, then I might be thinking about that. And again, for folks who have not watched this stream before, I don't get into all the details about who has draft picks and all that other stuff. I could. That's not my thing, man. I don't. That's neither here nor there for me. I like to talk pure basketball, and this is about scenarios and stuff like that. So KD to the Raptors, it might work, but again, currently constructed, even if they get KD, they cannot beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Because that Greek freak dude, there, he's either the best player in the world or he's 1B right now. Good Lord. I mean, he's almost to the point where he's figured out can't nobody mess with him. D. Brown says, I would be petty and send KD to Sacramento. Yeah, and I was telling folks earlier, yes, KD has requested a trade, but this is not like he is a free agent, even though this is free agency right now. So the ball is not in his court. He can request a trade all he wants to. But the Nets have to get a package deal for something that is appeasing to them. Bottom line. So if you're the Nets, you don't fold. You hold all your cards until it looks like it's striking time. You do not fold. You keep it going, man. Again, I appreciate folks who, trickling in here a little late. Appreciate those commenting. Keep bringing them, man. It gets me going. It keeps me wanting to keep rocking and rolling, man. I'm in Texas, so it's like 9 o'clock here. But I can, if folks keep coming talking, we can keep this going. I really don't care. AR says we're trying to develop OG and Trent, so that's kind of bad. But for KD, sheesh, you take that, man. You know, Kevin Durant still has a good 4 years in him. So if your goal is to win a championship within the next 4 years, then damn it, you do it. You do it. But again, nobody else holds the cards but the Nets right now. AR says I'll be petty and send him to the Magic for a first round. Damn sure ain't winning in Orlando. Orlando might get a little more TV time. They're going to get some TV time this year because they had the number one draft pick. And business-wise, you have to put the number one draft pick on TV probably at least 8 times. You got to put the number one draft pick on TV at least 8 times. But those dudes, Orlando didn't have not one. I think they had one primetime game last year. Same with the Wizards, and that's probably because they were playing the Lakers or somebody. Giannis is my new favorite player since Kobe, man. Giannis is damn good, man. It's damn good. And I said this on Facebook probably 4 years ago. And I said it, and a lot of folks was telling me I was crazy. They was telling me I was crazy. But I saw it coming. I said it's to the point right now that the best player in the world would, in a few years, would no longer be from the United States. And folks, I mean, they were letting me have it on Facebook. I should have screenshotted it. I mean, I don't remember when I posted it or whatever. And I said, in a few years, the best player in the world will not be from the United States, and folks didn't believe me, man. And I'm like, dude, do y'all not see this? And it's coming to the fourth. You got Greek Freak. You got the Joker, who just signed a huge deal. 5 years, $240-something million. You got Luka. You know, my Houston bias in me doesn't want me allowed to really like Luka. He's damn good too. He's damn good, man. Like, so that's 3 dudes right there that are not from America who is dominating this league right now. AR says KD to the Rockets for a bag of chips. Hey, man, the Rockets look like geniuses right now, man. Every Rockets fan I know, I'm from Houston, so every Rockets fan I know, they are happy as hell right now because they own pretty much all of Brooklyn's picks, man. I think some of them are unprotected. Either some or all of them are unprotected, but the Brooklyns lose all these assets between Kevin Durant gone, Kyrie Irving gone. They're going to be a very, very bad team, and they're going to be in the lottery. Right, just it. I mean, to skip your comment, the Giannis is dominant and still not consistent jump shot. Yeah. But what I like about Giannis, he's willing to take those shots and live with the results. And that's what you do as an NBA player. And that was a lot of times that be my gripe with LeBron. LeBron has probably been my favorite player for a long time, even though we're literally the same age. But I respect LeBron because he's been basically in the public eye since he was 15 years old. And that's not an easy thing to do. A lot of folks cannot handle that. His career may not have been what people thought it was going to be. But at the end of the day, he's still a 4-time champion. Some people don't count the bubble championship, but history book says he's an NBA champion, 4-time NBA champion. But a lot of times LeBron has not shot that shot and just, been okay with it. Later on in his career, he's gotten to that point. But it is what it is. He said Joel Embiid. Yeah, another one. Joel Embiid is damn good. Joel Embiid is a top 10 player in the NBA right now, from my perspective. I will put him at that 10 to 12 range. Who's MVP next year? What's the guess? No way. Jokic is going to put up similar numbers. He really is. But no way he wins 3 MVPs in a row. because of the gripes from the fans. MVP next year. My goodness, right on the spot. Who was the top three last year? Greek Freak, Embiid, and then Jokic wins it. They might. Embiid, if he stays healthy, has a really good year, and he leads the Sixers to the 3rd seed in the East, he'll probably get it because he's been campaigning for it. He had a chance last year to win it. You know, he has his argument he could have been MVP. Giannis is going to continue to put up 27 and 13. Like that is the norm for him. Like literally 27 and 13 is the normal for Greek Freak. I just don't know. And they want to push, a lot of folks want to push Luka. Luka has to finish, his team has to finish 2nd seed in the West. He has to finish 2nd seed in the West and average 29, 8 and 8. I can't even throw LeBron in there. LeBron, his team finishes 3rd or 4th seed just off a longevity thing. A legacy MVP, which LeBron could have had 5 or 6 MVPs, but voters got tired of him. Off a legacy thing, he might do it, but I can't call it, man. I really can't. D Brown says I can't stand LeBron, but I respect him. Yeah, and that's how I am with LeBron really irks me a lot of times. He really, really does. And I'm just like, dude, why are you, even though you're going on 39 or whatever the case may be, 38, I don't know. Why are you doing this settling for the step back sideways 3? And I know every single time he's getting ready to pull it. I'm just like, God, dog, just stop selling. And this is why the Lakers be having those laws. Because he comes out with that BS side step 3, looking at the ball, sizing it up, and then shoots that BS, man. I'm like, dude, just stop selling. LeBron James is literally the best driver of the basketball ever to get to the rim. Ever. He's been unstoppable since the day he came in the NBA when he decided to put his head down and get to the basket. And even at this later in his career, folks still getting out the way. He's still gonna get the calls, and then he don't get the call when he thinks he's supposed to get the call. He's not fouled on every play. He gets fouled a lot, but he's not fouled on every play. Get back on defense, man. Like, give me even if you can't get back on defense, give me a light jog. Don't put your head down and then, do all that moping crap, man. Like, that drives me nuts about to do it, man. So I feel bad for Russ, but then I think about $40 million. Don't even get me started on Russell Westbrook, man. Me and my boy Hoop Dragon was on here. I don't know where he at. Thought he might chime in. But Russell Westbrook he's a bad basketball player. And I hate to say it like that because, again, he's done something I've never been able to do in my lifetime. He's a MVP. He's averaged a triple-double for 4 seasons, which only him and Oscar Robertson can claim the fame to. But he's a bad basketball player, man. And I'm saying that from the standpoint of being in the NBA so long that you still make those type of mistakes, those type of boneheaded mistakes in the 4th quarter. And for the love of God, I hope someone told him during the offseason, if you shoot another backboard mid-range jumper this year, sub yourself out. Because he had like 12 to 20 moments last year where he tried to shoot a backboard jumper and it hit all backboard or top of the backboard or didn't hit anything. Like, come on, man. It's just his 4th quarter so bad. Russ became so irrelevant so fast. He still has a chance to redeem himself. And it's because people figured him out, man. You got figured out. You're one-trick pony. Get a triple-double. And I've seen all the stats. I've seen all the stats where it says that when he gets a triple-double, his team wins like 60% of the time or something like that. But for the most part, that's not championship basketball because triple-doubles are skewed in a way today where they really don't mean anything. The triple-double is enhanced now because of one, and I'll just go to this one point. A lot of bigs play on the perimeter now. You see a lot of high screening rolls at 28 feet now, or screening pops at 28 feet from the basket. Then when the shot goes up, who's on the baseline for the most part? They're guards. So guards are getting a lot more rebounds. And then if it does pop long, the guy who shoots it usually off a pick is defended more by a guard. So, and then offensively, offense to defense, what I'm trying to get to, offensive defense, I'm trying to break this down in a way. Offensive defense, you don't see as many teams. If you go back and look at the 90s basketball, 80s basketball, a lot of times offensive rebounds were very, very important. So they sent two guys to the basket to go offensive rebound. A lot of times now, you watching a game, you'll see a couple of positions where dudes on the offensive, once the shot goes up, they won't even go for an offensive rebound. They won't even attempt to go for an offensive rebound. And that's just the way the game has changed. Just get back, stop the fast break, understanding pace, team tempo. That's a stat now. Like team tempo is a stat. Bucks getting Joe Ingles, man. Yeah, and I said that at the beginning of the stream. Joe Ingles is I thought he retired. I really did. I don't know if he got hurt last year or something like that. After he did, I thought he said he was retiring. But getting Joe Ingles, you get another playmaker. He's slow, but he's crafty. And crafty dudes can always find a way to get things done. He's a willing passer, and he can make shots. Again, you get guys to build around your superstar. What is Greek Freak good at? He's good. He's great at getting to the cup, dunking on folks, finishing left hand, finishing right hand, developing a little mid post now, a baby hook here and there. So what do? You surround this dude with guys who can make shots. This is why the re-signing of Bobby Portis was very, very important. The re-signing of Bobby Portis was very, very important. So Joe Ingles is a guy who can get a rebound and actually bring it up the court and initiate the offense. He did a great job of that when he was in Utah. Exactly, yeah. Man, I'm telling you, man, I D Brown love when you come in, man. I know a little bit about this thing. Again, I'm close getting up there in age, but I've literally been around basketball and taught basketball since the day I came out the womb. Shout out to my dad. My dad usually jumps in on here, man, but he taught me the game at a very, very early age. And me being the person that I am, that I turned out to be, I'm very good at observing and watching and seeing things a lot of folks don't see. So I'm able to talk this in a sense that I can do barbershop talk, or I can do it from an analytical perspective. But what I try to do is try to bring all those things together and make it a good show, man. So I appreciate the folks who do come to this channel and rock with me. Again, most times my stuff is about HBCU stuff, about Jackson State. But this is my first passion, basketball. And this is why I really got into this, doing basketball. And it kind of took off from somewhere else. Didn't hear no depth. Where do I think Donovan Mitchell would fit at? I have no clue. I'm going to be honest with that. And we spoke about him earlier on my earlier stream. I have no clue. And the Pope beat Frank. He has a pretty good channel. He said that he would see him with Boston. And I'm like, why? Boston has two guys to go put the ball in the basket. And he was saying that Donovan Mitchell could be that traditional point guard. I don't see a traditional point guard out of Donovan Mitchell. He's a 6'3" scoring guard. That's what he is. He's a 6'3", 6'4" scoring guard, athletic guard. Boston Celtics that Boston Celtics needed a guy. They needed like a guy like playoff Rondo in the finals. This is why you seen Jason Tatum had all them turnovers. Folks who watch the NBA finals see why Jason Tatum had so many turnovers. Because he was working too hard just to get a basket. If they had a traditional point guard like a Ricky Rubio, Mike Conley. Hello, Boston Celtics fans. Mike Conley, a guy who can get you to your spots, get you to a spot where you can score easier and you don't have to work so hard, but he can also give you on a given night, he can give you 20 points. So Boston Celtics, get you a Mike Conley type of dude. Yeah, all right. Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown don't have to work so hard if they have a guard like that. And I got nothing against Marcus Smart, but he never got those dudes in positions to make their life easier. Never got them guys. So Donovan Mitchell, to kind of hide his weaknesses as a guard, playmaking guard, maybe Miami. Miami makes sense for a lot of dudes because of their culture. The culture is already established and it's not going to change. Be able to hide over there a little bit, but they ain't giving up Tyler Hero. Jimmy Butler is an aging star. For some reason, they did they sent the agent to go talk to the Udonis Haslem about coming back for a 20th season. So that's just a respect thing, but that's funny to me. Again, man, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. For those who are tuning in, I appreciate you again. 9 o'clock. I've been at this about almost an hour and 15 minutes. Didn't think it was gonna go this long, but I'm enjoying this. So as long as the questions keep flowing, all this other stuff, I'm gonna keep it rocking. Let's check back in and see if there's been any new free agent news. Talk about all these dudes: Bradley Beal, Jalen Brunson. All these dudes have gotten this bread, well deserved. Bobby Porter's got that 4-year deal for $49 million, and I said, shout out to his agent. Played that perfectly. Signed a very small deal 2 years ago with a player option, and they seen his value, and he got what he deserved. 4 years at $49 million. That's incredible. And I can't fault him for that at all. But back to your Donovan Mitchell thing, I don't know, man. Because when I said earlier, because all these teams have these guards that's around 6'3", 6'4". So who does he go to replace that? We just go down the list. The Kings have De'Aaron Fox. Trailblazers have Lillard and now Anthony Simons. Golden State has their duo. The Lakers don't have any room for him. Is that all the teams in California on the West Coast? The Thunder, they're not going to go with that. They got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. The Rockets got their young core. New Orleans have their young core. Memphis has their guard and Ja Morant. Atlanta has their guards, Trae Young, and Deontay Murray. The Pacers, they need something over there. Maybe the Pacers, you can go to the Pacers and win games, but they have Malcolm Brogdon. They just signed him to a deal a couple years ago. The Knicks, but they just got Jalen Brunson. The Nets, that's there's something going wrong over there in that organization. The Washington Wizards, but yeah, you can go over there and lose a bunch of games. You can make a lot of money, lose a bunch of games though. Toronto, you can go to, but yeah. So where does Donovan Mitchell fit in at? It's gonna be tough for him. It's going to be real tough. You say might keep that Jazz uniform on. And you're absolutely correct. He literally might have to stick it out with the Jazz, and that's fine. That's fine. Him and Rudy Gobert, they got to go in there, hug, shake hands, make up, whatever they need to do. I don't care. But honestly, there's no trade value for Donovan Mitchell because every team has that. They have that or something similar to that, not too far off. Like Donovan Mitchell is a star, I guess. Maybe he might be a star. I can't really give him a star. You can go to San Antonio, but San Antonio is on a rebuild. They're trying to get the big young fella from France next year. They know what they're doing. San Antonio may look crazy, but San Antonio is gonna play some games. They're gonna incorporate their system. They're gonna get some of the guys who didn't get much playing time, play them a lot, get them some playing time, learn the system, learn Popovich's system. And what they're going to do, San Antonio more than likely is going to end up with the number 1 pick next year. And that young kid, I think his name is Wembanyama, Wembanyama or something, I don't know. He's from France. I just butchered his name. So that's what San Antonio is doing. For folks who can't understand why San Antonio traded away their number 1, their all-star from last year, that's what they're doing. I don't know what Portland would do to make them a contender. Portland is another cursed franchise as well, going back to the Lakers. That Lakers Kobe Shaq era, they ruined the Kings. They got the NBA cheated the Kings out of that, and then either that same year or the year after that, that's when Portland, Scottie Pippen got hit with that weak crossover by Kobe, and then they threw the lob to Shaq. That might have been the same year. So both of those teams are pretty much recovering from that. And Portland has just happened to be a little more fortunate because they ended up getting Damian Lillard out of that situation. But it's not there, man. And for folks who are new to this channel, and I say this all the time, when you look at the history of the NBA, again, I'm really big on history. It's been 75 years going on 6. So let's break it down. The Lakers and Celtics have 17 championships each. That's 34 right there. The Warriors and Bulls have 6 championships, I believe. I know the Bulls have 6. I want to say the Warriors have 6. So if that's the case, that's 12 more. So 34 plus 12 is what? 46. San Antonio Spurs have 5. That's 51. The Knicks have 2. That's 53. The Rockets have 2. 55. That the ones I can think off the top of my head. Right? The Sixers have 1, 56. Sixers might have 2. I don't know. So that's 56 or 57. So what's left is a little bit over 20, a little bit over or a little bit under 20 championships left for the rest of the NBA teams. So there's not a lot of history of other teams winning championships. So a lot of organizations could say they want to be championship caliber, but man, for the most part, there are only select few teams that won NBA championships, and that's just being real. Same thing with the NFL. Folks think I'm crazy when I be talking like this, but just go look at the history books. It's there. This is not me giving my opinion. This is me telling you history facts. Who am I missing? Oh, Toronto has a championship. So that's what, 58, 59 maybe? Miami Heat have 3. So that's 60. So I named like 8 teams out of 30 who have almost most of the NBA championships. So it's tough on these dudes, man. It's tough to build a championship organization. But it has to start somewhere. And what Portland is currently constructed as, they're not going to win the NBA championship anytime soon. Um, I'm gonna quickly look again and see if there's been any updates about who has signed. I don't see anything new. I really don't see anything new. Try to find some other sites. Check NBA TV out real quick. If nothing new has popped off, we're going to get ready to close it down. But tomorrow, man, y'all make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. I'm supposed to have my dude who coaches with the Clippers, the Los Angeles Clippers. My dude, man, met him. Really, really cool cat. He's a skills development coach for the Los Angeles Clippers. I had him on my show 2 years ago had him on my channel 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago or last year? Might have been last year. I don't know. But before my channel is what it is, man, I think I had less than 100 subscribers, and I was doing all these interviews with these coaches. So I'm at 2,698 subscribers. So 2 away from 2,700. So folks who are in here, if you have not subscribed, please do so. If you have subscribed, go tell somebody else so I can get to 2,700 by this weekend. But supposed to have my dude, skills development coach for the Clippers. He's one of those dudes that you see that don't get a lot of recognition, but he's working out the guys before the games and after the games. That's his role. He's supposed to be on tomorrow, and I really, really hope he does. Hey, man, handle your business, man. Appreciate you dropping through, man, always. But make sure if I'm on tomorrow, man, jump on, man. Please do so. But again, my guy from the Clippers, supposed to be rocking. Hopefully, we can get him on here around 3:30 Central Time, or 3:30 Central Time. So hopefully he can get in on this and really rock with me. Y'all could ask him some questions, but he has to protect his job. So some questions will not be answered. So we can't get into full details of certain things. So hopefully that happens tomorrow. If not, man, I'll just do a subscriber open questions only, show tomorrow or something like that. So again, man, make sure you subscribe. Subscribe. If you're on Facebook, hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, and the heart button. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. Once you subscribe, you'll see a bell pop up. Then you'll get that, hit the bell, you get those notifications. So again, quick run through of if there's any new signings. I don't see anything right now. Let's see. I don't think Zach Lavine is still out there. He's probably waiting to see what else happens overall. All the stuff we've reported on. Again, McGee to the Mavericks, Kyle Anderson to Minnesota. Bradley Beal gets a great deal, historic deal, 5 years, $251 million. DeLon White has signed with the Wizards 2 years, $16 million. Gary Harris resigns with the Magic. Lakers get Lonnie Walker the fourth. Patty Mills back to Brooklyn, all that other stuff. So, and this has been fun. Again, I might do another free agency stream tomorrow, because the news is going to keep coming out of other things. So, but I really, really appreciate everyone who's came in, rocked with me. This has been fun. Kevin Durant. I'm seeing reports now before I get out. Kevin Durant requests trades from the Nets. So he either wants to go, it says he wants to go to the Suns or the Miami Heat. And if you check my stream earlier, go back and check out the stream. Me and my man Hoop Jargon, one of the first people to suggest the Miami Heat. So you hear all these other folks talking about Miami Heat, go to these other channels. Me and him were one of the first two people to mention that Kevin Durant to the Miami Heat, because I don't think he would get a lot for going to the Miami Heat. Now, him requesting the trade and going somewhere else, it's a weak-ass move. It looks really, really weak, but I don't think he would get a lot of flack unless, my man Hoop Jargon said, unless you have those LeBron people like, man, look at him. He's trying to be like LeBron going down to Miami. Look at it. But Kevin Durant, whatever you do, people are going to talk about you. So, you put yourself in that microscope. And so it's going to happen. But I really, really appreciate everyone that came in on this. I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Y'all enjoy y'all night. If you don't come back tomorrow, enjoy your holiday weekend. July 4th, be safe. Don't do anything crazy. If you're out partying, man, get a designated driver, get an Uber, anything of that nature. Be safe. Don't do anything crazy. Be careful with fireworks. Watch your kids. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, with 20 Game Sports. As always, when I get off these streams, I'll leave you with a little bit of words of encouragement on your best day. Be better. Think about that, man. With 20 Game Sports, I'm out. Peace.